Hey, it's me. I'm in the tail end of a road trip that I've been on for the past 72 plus whatever, 84 to 90 hours. Uh, and it's just about done. I am maybe 2.5 hours from home, and I'm tired. I just want to sleep. And it's just me in the car. So I thought I would talk to you all for just a little bit and keep me awake. So, yeah. Um, it's been, 2 weeks, I guess, since I put a show out, and I don't know where the 2 weeks went. Uh, I'm not sure why I didn't record something. I'm not sure. Am I falling? Did I fall this quickly back into old habits of not recording podcasts? I don't know. Maybe so. I don't know. But enough about that. You know what? It is Sunday, October 15th, 2023. And as of this recording, I'm still depressed, but I'm not dead. Okay, yeah. So road trip. I told you I'm on a road. Wow. Uh, yeah, road trip. I went out. I took a road trip to Texas with my youngest to go see the eclipse. Yeah, the annular eclipse that just occurred. Super rare phenomenon where if you don't know, there's several types of eclipses, right? There's partial eclipses, there's total eclipses, there's lunar eclipses, there's probably other ones, I don't know, and then there's this annular eclipse, right? So a total eclipse is when a total solar eclipse, I should say, is when the moon moves between the sun and the earth in such a way that where you are standing, the sun completely is blotted out by the size of the moon. And super cool. I have not experienced one of those, but there's one coming up in April of 2024. So I think I'm gonna give that a whirl. As it seems I survived this trip. But an annular eclipse is when the moon isn't quite big enough to cover up the entire sun. So you get this ring of fire, it's called, where it's you see the outline ring of the sun is peeking out around the entirety of the moon, and it's super cool. Back in 2017, I went out to somewhere, Wyoming, Montana, somewhere, I don't know, and saw my first one. And that was just an amazing experience. It was just perfect blue skies, and just in this kind of field with hundreds of other people, and it happened, and there was cheering and weeping and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, wow, I want to do this. I want to do this again. But in Texas, right? It's like 21 hours from my house to where the nearest point, really, to go do this. And So I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it. But you know what? Let me just ask my youngest. Hey, would you want to do this? You'd have to take a day off of school. It's going to be a stupid amount of driving, and we may have to sleep in the car one night. But would you want to do this? And she said yes. So we I've been watching the weather report. The plan was to go to Hondo, Texas, and which Hondo, how so lucky, is in the path for the total eclipse coming up in April too. Like those lucky ducks. But the caveat was, hey, we're going to keep an eye on the weather, and if it looks like it's going to be cloudy, like, we're not going to make the trip, right? We're not going to drive 18 hours from her house to get there, if it was like 80%, 90% chance that we're not going to see anything. So we're watching, and I'm watching, and it's like, and so it was Saturday. Yesterday was when the eclipse occurred, the 14th. So I've been watching, and it was like Thursday, Friday, cloudy, Saturday, partly cloudy, Sunday, clear, and then at one point it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, clear, 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 and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're doing it. Like, we're doing this. So we start going, and looking at the weather report, like Thursday night, we left our house Thursday night, um, and drove for whatever, like 6 hours. I stayed in a hotel. I got up the next day and drove. As a 12-hour day. But at bedtime, we get to the hotel and go into bed Thursday night, and I look, and it's like partly cloudy Friday, still sunny on Saturday, maybe some clouds in the morning, but clearing up by eclipse time. I'm like, okay. So then we go, and we're doing the driving, and now it's Friday night, and I'm looking, and it's like cloudy, partly cloudy into eclipse time. And I'm like, oh crap. And I'm already like starting to like hedge, like, geez, I'm sorry, if this doesn't work out, I'm so sorry. I don't, and she's like, oh, whatever. And then we wake up Saturday morning, and Hondo, Texas is raining the hour before the eclipse is supposed to start. I'm like, oh crap. I was like, okay, so I look and I pivot, and it's like, okay, we're gonna go to over here to this other part of Texas, where it's supposed to be partly cloudy up through maximum eclipse time, and then clearing up entirely. And like, okay, we're here. This is what we're gonna do. We gotta go. So we go, and it was a quick pivot. So I had her looking up, like, hey, find us a spot where we can hang out, preferably somewhere there's a bathroom. So if we have to pee or whatever, like, we don't have to hop in the car and go find a bathroom while eclipse is happening, right? We can just like dash in. If it's a porta potty, if it's a bathroom, if we're in a Walmart parking lot, like, great, I don't care. And she's like, find this park, right? We got this park, this state park, this Choke Canyon State Park. And we're like, okay, we're going to go there. Yeah, so we go there, and we get there, and it's windy, and it's mostly cloudy, and like the sun is poking through every now and then, and I'm like, oh, crap. But we're like an hour ahead. So, okay, we're still supposed to clear up, supposed to get to partly cloudy by the time the eclipse is supposed to start. So let's just do that. And I mean, we're here, we got to do it. And so we're walking around, and there's all these signs like, hey, warning, there's alligators exist in this park, be careful, beware. And like, oh, okay. So we're walking around, we're looking, and the eclipse starts, and we have our glasses, right? Our special eclipse glasses. Can't look at the eclipse without glasses on. Burn your retinas and go blind. And so the idea is you put them on, and like the sun is so bright that it stands out, but a lot of everything else you don't really see because they block out so much stuff. And they're right in that sweet spot where you can really see the sun, and the shape of the sun, and the moon as it's covering up parts of the sun, and it's so cloudy that you can't see anything, right? It's black. You put them on, it's black. I'm like, oh crap. And every now and then, like, we're walking around, and like skin starts to feel a little bit warm, and like, so the sun is poking through a little bit more into the sun. So sure enough, put on our glasses, look up. Oh yeah, hey, look, things are starting to happen. And but oh well, like as soon as we look up and see it, the cloud moves in. And I was like, crap. And so we're just gonna keep walking around. It's like an hour and 20 minutes from the very first it's round, the first bit of the moon in front of the sun, to when we're at maximum, which is with that ring of fire that I mentioned. So we're just walking around, and we saw a dung beetle, so that was exciting. This little guy just rolling his ball of poop. That was pretty cool. I was still looking for those alligators and whatever. And finally, we're at like 30 minutes to maximum, and it's pretty damn cloudy. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. But I'm glad we're doing this, and let's just go hang out on that picnic table over there and just kind of see. I mean, we're here. We're gonna see. We're gonna be here. And so we're sitting there, and the sun is kind of like in and out of clouds, and a little bit to where like it's poking through, and put the glasses on, look up, and we can see it, and like, oh, it's getting close. It's like, 50% covered, and 75% covered, and 80% covered, but and no more than like 20, 30 seconds at a time. But an interesting bit is that because of the cloud cover, there were times when you could just take the glasses off and look up and see, right? I mean, we've all been got on a cloudy day, and you look up and you see like the disk of the sun, and you're not in danger of hurting your eyes. So it was this weird kind of mismatch of seeing like glasses on, see it winks out inside the glasses. And it's like, okay, pull the glasses off and looking. And there was this family that was a picnic table over, and they were all very excited, and they were like commentating the whole thing, and like, okay, take your glasses off and look now, and oh, put them back on, and oh, now it's gone, and this is so cool and so exciting, and it was just kind of fun, and they had music playing, and it was kind of fun, and yeah, so for like 5 minutes of maximum, it was just clear enough that we could actually see it. We could see the eclipse, right? It wasn't clear skies, right? It could have been a lot more exciting, more I don't know what I want to say, some adjective, but I'm super tired. But we saw it, and then like just after maximum, and then the sun starts poking out more on one side, and whatever, and then the clouds just roll in, and that's pretty much it. So we hung out for like 10 more minutes at the picnic table, and we're like, no, this isn't really happening. Let's just work our way back to the car. We got to the car, and we're like drinking our drinks, and having a little snack and looking up every now and then, but pretty much it's no big clouds coming through. So we got lucky enough that we got to see it, and she was pretty excited about it, and I was excited that she was excited, and I said, okay, I have to go to the bathroom before we hop in the car and start going. And I'm walking, and I'm just thinking about like the smile on her face, and I got kind of choked up. I was like, yeah, I'm really glad that we were able to do this together, right? And that was nice. I liked it. It was good. At least for me, it was worth the driving, right? And just the long days and the kind of crappy hotels. I made the decision, we're going to stay in a hotel each night, and just, make it a little bit nicer. And they weren't the best. I mean, they weren't terrible either. I mean, they were like chains, right? So they wasn't, hole in the wall, but they weren't, what Nora has spoiled me into expecting from hotels. But like today, I mean, we got up, and we left the hotel at 6 a.m. Central Time. So here in the U.S., we've got Eastern Time, Central Time, Mountain Time, and Pacific Time. And if it's like noon Eastern Time, then it's 11 a.m. Central Time, and 10 Pacific or Mountain, and whatever. You get the idea. So we left there to drive east into Eastern Time, which is our home time zone. And we got to her house at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is equivalent of 7 p.m. Central. So that was 13 hours of driving. And then I dropped her off, and now I've got another 3 hours to get home yet. And it's ridiculous. It's a long day, and I got to go home. I got to sleep for, whatever I'm going to get, like 5 hours, 6 hours, and get up and go get a rental car, and then drive 3 hours for work to be away from home. So, but still, it was worth it. And I think come April, when the total eclipse is happening, I have to check the weather, right? I still need to have a fair feeling that I'm going to get to experience the thing. But yeah, I think I'm going to try again. Maybe she'll go with me. I don't know. Or maybe I can get Nora and like we fly, because Nora will not put up with 21 hours of driving to go see an eclipse, I don't think. And you can't blame her, right? So yeah, so there's 15 minutes on Eclipse, JP, and the sun disappearing behind the moon. Uh, so how am I doing otherwise? Therapy is still going. I I don't know. I don't know what my goal is with therapy now anymore. Um, I agreed to go back because there's all these things going on with my family, and hoping to get the tools to handle um, the stressors that are happening and more to come. Um, and I'll be honest, now that I'm back on medication, like I don't even, I'm not even worried about that. Like I don't, whatever. Like I'm not worried about being able to navigate those things. Um, so like I don't know. Like we've been talking a bit about how why does JP not like himself? Why does JP not think that he is worthy or deserving or um, you know worth anything? Um, and I don't have a good idea, and I've never had a good idea why. Um, and Tara wants me to work on allowing myself to um, believe that I am worthwhile. Um, and I mean, Nora is such a fantastic source of positive experiences and validation. Um, and I don't, it's just like blanket. It's not even that I don't accept it. It's that I don't understand it. Like I'm incapable of understanding why she says, feels, and believes the things that she does about me. And so I think I want to try something. And I haven't I haven't seen Nora since Monday night. Likely she's going to be asleep when I get home, and will be asleep when I get up. So and I will not see her now until maybe Friday, maybe Saturday morning next week. Um, so it's a little hard. I'm a little. It's going to take a bit to get there. But I want to try this like radical acceptance and see what that's about. See if I can, and I have to employ Nora a little bit to be a little more forthcoming with the praise and whatever. Like, even like, well, I feel so phony just saying these things. Like, lavish me with praise, my dear. That's what it feels like. I feel, like, so, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna maybe I don't. I'll let it go to my head is the phrase that I want to use, and I don't know. Like this is what I struggle with, right? Like I struggle with what is humility? What is the act of being humble versus recognizing and acknowledging self-worth, right? Like how do you balance those two things, right? Because to me the idea of like just saying, I don't know, like, hey, I did a good thing today. I did a good, like, that was good of me. Hey, look at what I did. Um, Even if it's just like if I painted a picture, let's say, which is it's not going to happen. JP can't paint, but let's just say I painted a picture. Like the idea of now taking that and showing it to Nora and saying, "Hey, look, I'm really happy with the way this turned out, seems so wrong for me. For me, right? Like if Nora painted a picture and wanted to show me, she's like, "Well, I really like how this turned out." I'd be thrilled for her, and I'd be like, "Well, yeah, you are. Look at that. That's amazing." But for me, it seems wrong. It feels wrong. I don't know what that's about, right? Like what is that about? So I guess I gotta like, so in my worldview, like mm, any statement like of positivity about myself is like borderline, if not full on arrogance. But and why is that? Like I don't have memories of like of a childhood or a young adulthood or even early adulthood of like people putting me down, like me doing something and them saying, "You're an idiot." Like what? That sucks. What do you mean? What do you mean? Look at that. That's ridiculous. You're a moron. Like I don't have that. Um. So what? So where does this come from? And I don't know, and I don't know. I don't know that that's valuable information to have. Um, I mean, all information is valuable as value, right? Um, but maybe I just need to start figuring out how to accept and do some of that and find that balance. But I don't know. It just. And then Tara asked me something. She didn't really full on ask. She like hinted at like, is there some feeling of like if I allow myself to feel good, then that increases the drop to feeling bad, right? So if you like you always feel bad, then feeling like the worst you can feel from already feeling bad is not as far as the worst you can feel from feeling good. And there might be something there. I don't know. Um, maybe there's a fear of feeling good. That's possible. I don't know. It kind of seems like maybe there's something there, but I don't know. Is this like more? Is this like uh, superstitious Catholic upbringing where like don't really embrace the good because the Satan he's coming to get you. Like I don't know, or something analogous to that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, so yeah, so there's a little something. There's a little nugget for you from JP's brain. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna at some point I'm gonna talk to Nora and see if she can help me with this. Because it's she is for sure singularly like the person who, if she tells me something about me, I know it's 100% what she sees, believes, feels, understands. Um, and I think I've got to start there, right? I mean, I always, I get, emails from listeners, friends of the show, who will say something nice about me or the show or what's happening with the show. Um, and I appreciate the thought and the time that someone has taken to do that. Um, but I find it hard to take validation from that from someone I don't know. Um, right? Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. I don't know. But I mean, whether or not I can understand it, something coming from Nora, I think I can get to the point with a nugget from her that is like, okay, like she said X about me. Okay, that's got to be true, right? So let's just take that. Let's radically accept that. Let's insert that into my emotional, intellectual DNA and say this is true, and I'm allowed to feel good about it. And we're gonna see what happens with that. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Again, it's going to be probably a week before I can really get there because if we're removed, if it's like if we're a text messages removed from each other or phone call removed from each other, there's like it has to be face to face, right? It has to be face to face without gray area, because JP doesn't do gray areas. Like it's got to be right. Like, hey, whatever X. Like I see you, I see you doing this. I see it. And there may be, well, it's radical acceptance. I just have to radically accept it. So, yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. And one more thing that I wanted to share this from JP's brain. We're talking about like wins and acknowledging wins, and I think like from my worldview, like again, JP's not good with gray area, right? So there's like black and white, or black and mostly somewhat white, I guess, right? So like a failure, there's failures and then there's wins, right? And if you didn't win, you failed. And if you didn't fail, this is where I struggle, right? If you didn't fail, it doesn't mean you won. But if you didn't win, then you must have failed. And this is easier. It's easier for me to see the world this way because failures are like a stop, right? Like you did not meet X, you did not meet expectation, you did not do something. You can put some specific measurement and say you did not meet this, and so it was a failure. But no, see, this fell apart in therapy too. Like a win isn't no, okay, so this is illogical thinking. Okay, this is coming around to me, right? So in my messed up head, like missing, so few things in life are one to one, right? Where it's like a single mark you have to hit, right? There are some things, right? Like dieting, right? Like getting to 175 pounds, right? That's a specific mark. And, if I can set a goal and say I want to be at 175 pounds by January 27th, let's say. And that's clearly measurable, right? And if I don't get it, I failed, right? And if I get it, then I won. It was a win. I won. It was a win. But so few things in life are like that, right? I mean, doing a specific job at work, right? Like you can get to a point where your work is acceptable and it meets some of the, enough of the requirements for the finished product that it's good, but it's, it's not. It's not absolute, right? It's not absolutely perfect. I guess perfect, is that what I'm? Does things have to be perfect in my head for it to be a win? Maybe, and maybe I self-sabotage that by uh, yeah, I mean, there is no perfect, right? I mean, I can't achieve perfection, right? But if I miss any one of multiple um, parameters or marks, then I can accept I failed. Hmm. Okay. I'm tired and I'm just rambling, and I really need to put the microphone down and drink some more caffeinated soda so that I don't fall asleep as soon as I'm done talking. So I'm gonna go. Um, I feel like I'm leaving you on a cliffhanger, but sometimes we got to do that for our safety while we're driving in at night on back roads in North Carolina, trying to get home. Uh, so everybody, thank you for listening. If you have ideas on what I'm trying to say, or any ideas related or unrelated to the show that you want to share with me, you can email me, jamolki@gmail.com, JAMOALKI. Uh, Thank you so much for listening, taking time out of your day. I appreciate you all. And till next time, everybody be safe and be well. Thanks. is Sunday, October 15th, 2023. And as of this recording, holy cow, I am super tired. I'm still depressed, but I'm not dead as well. Well, that was terrible.